Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen, and I recently went on a 10-day Alaskan cruise with my husband Steven and our friends Rachel and Kayor. We sailed aboard the Norwegian Sun, embarking from Seattle, Washington, and during our trip we stopped in Juneau, Skagway, Icy Strait Point, Glacier Bay, Sitka, Ketchikan, and Victoria, British Columbia. In this multi-part series, I'll share my experience as well as tips and recommendations for anyone considering going on a similar cruise. In this vlog, you'll see us explore Skagway. Let's get into the video. We docked in Skagway fairly early in the morning and enjoyed a breakfast at the Seven Seas restaurant. I liked the Belgian waffles, and they don't serve those at the buffet, so I always wanted to go here for breakfast. After breakfast, we made our way off the ship. Rachel stayed behind to relax on the boat, and Kayor, Steven, and I explored the town. Skagway does have many touristy type shops that sell knickknacks and souvenirs, but we skipped that and went to the museums. Despite its many tourist attractions, Skagway has a very interesting history. In one article that I read by Britannica, it says, "The area was originally inhabited by the Tlingit people, and its name derives from the Tlingit word Skagwa, meaning place where the north wind blows." Part of Skagway's history is its development during the Klondike Gold Rush. In 1896, a man by the name of James Mason found gold in Canada's Yukon territory close to the Klondike River. Word traveled quickly, and many made a mad dash towards what they thought would be a prosperous endeavor. Skagway is essentially a boom town, which was one of the many towns that popped up due to the gold rush. And it was founded by William Moore, who was a former steamboat captain and had set up a homestead in that area. Unfortunately for him, his homestead was overrun by prospectors, and he was even forced to move his cabin as the new inhabitants wanted to build a road in its place. Skagway became a bustling town full of men hopeful to make their fortunes in the Klondike goldfields, and its significance stemmed from it being the starting point for the White Pass Trail and the fortune-hunting hopefuls as they prepared to travel 500 miles and stake a claim before more prospectors arrived. During the gold rush, many saw the business potential of setting up shop in Skagway. After all, these prospectors needed food and places to stay before starting their journey. As a result, many people decided to stay in Skagway as permanent residents. Due to its speedy growth, Skagway also attracted notorious Western crime boss Jefferson Randolph Smith II, also known as Soapy Smith. He was given this nickname because of one of his scams where he sold soap and would boost sales with the claim that there was prize money hidden in the bars. There was in fact prize money in some of the soap, but conveniently for him, this was only sold to members of his gang. Soapy Smith met his demise on July 7, 1898 in what has been coined the Shootout on Juneau Wharf, when an unexpected fight broke out due to his gang's unscrupulous dealings with a gold miner they had conned. While some, like Soapy Smith, chose to remain in Skagway and take advantage of unsuspecting prospectors, others chose to brave the journey to the gold fields. The trails as well as the weather conditions were extremely unforgiving, so much so that the Canadian government required that each man pack a year's supply of food and goods to prevent starvation. Even with this law in place, lack of food and supplies still posed a serious problem, and transporting all of it was no easy task either. For this reason, horses and sled dogs were in high demand, and if you couldn't obtain a pack animal, you became the pack animal. The Klondike Gold Rush, however, was short-lived, lasting only 3 years as it ended in 1899. During that time, it is estimated that 100,000 miners attempted to make the journey and stake a claim, but only 30,000 were successful in reaching the goldfields. Many men either gave up and turned back, or died trying to get there. Not only did men perish in their attempt to reach the Klondike, but it is estimated that more than 3,000 animals died on the White Pass Trail alone. When the gold rush ended, many boom towns disappeared with the unsuccessful prospectors who had instigated their creation, but Skagway remained. If you'd like to learn more about Skagway and the Klondike Gold Rush, I've left links to the articles that I referenced for this video in the description below. Our first stop was the Visitor Center Museum, which was recently renovated. If you're ever in Skagway, I highly recommend making a stop here. It's a great way to learn about Skagway, the surrounding area, and the gold rush. Whoever put this together did a great job with the exhibits.
You turned back on the trails? That's you. No. That's you.
Didn't die. We also made a stop at the Skagway Museum and Archives, which is located in the town's City Hall. This building is actually Alaska's first stone building and contains exhibits that show the history of Skagway over the years. This is a great stop to learn more about Skagway's history before and after the gold rush. They have items on display that were made by the Tlingit people, as well as examples of wildlife from the surrounding area. Outside the museum, you can check out one of the old White Pass locomotives that's no longer in use. The White Pass and Yukon route was originally constructed to meet the needs of those participating in the gold rush. Constructing the railway was an incredible achievement as it was built over extremely rough terrain, stretching 107 miles from Skagway to Whitehorse in Canada. The 19th century was an era of railway construction, and two men saw a need that they felt could be met. The first was Sir Thomas Tancred, who represented London investors, and the second was experienced railroad contractor Michael J. Haney. These two set a plan in motion, and construction on the railway was started on May 28, 1898. Tancred was hesitant to build through such rough terrain, but Haney disagreed, saying, "Give me enough dynamite and snooze, and I'll build you a railroad to hell." By July, the first locomotive had arrived in Alaska, and by 1900, the railway was complete. The White Pass Railway rises an astounding 2,865 feet to the summit, and those who helped build it were truly proud of the accomplishment. It was a dangerous job handling explosives, braving the elements, and cutting through the steep terrain. It is estimated that 35 workers lost their lives during the railway's construction. In one article I found on the White Pass History website, it says, "The $10 million project was the product of British financing, American engineering, and Canadian contracting. Tens of thousands of men and 450 tons of explosives overcame harsh and challenging climate and geography to create this wonder of steel and timber." After the gold rush, the White Pass Railroad continued to operate, carrying freight and passengers until 1982, when mines closed due to the drop of world metal prices. The railroad opened again in 1988 to carry tourists and has been functioning in this capacity ever since. I'm amazed they were able to build this in such a short time. I do find it interesting that the gold rush caused the need for this railway to be constructed, yet the gold rush ended abruptly around the time this massive project was completed. Steven? Steven? How'd you get up there? Oh. Where's the steering wheel? This is where they would have put the coal.
Actually, there's a door that goes right here.
Yeah, well, there was a door apparently.
And the coal is all the way in deep in.
There would be.
And then they shovel it.
And they shovel it into there. And I'm assuming that's where the steering would have been somehow.
Kind of amazing feat of engineering.
So I would have been driving the train and Steven would have been shoveling the coal.
Like I said, be yelling at you.
You're steering the train wrong! Stop! That's why I'm saying I don't think we're supposed to go in there. There's broken glass all over the floor. Oh, wow. Wow. Scotch tape. I wonder what these are. Like, you can't, is it like a baggage area? Like, you can't actually sleep there. Would somebody?
Store your children there.
I'm in an original historical boxcar from the White Pass Railroad. I'm not sure if I should be or not, but I'll go up. That's us right there. They even have the two little cruise ships. That one is us. It's my route.
That's good.
Once we were back on the boat, we had a wonderful dinner, and then Rachel, Steven, and I hung out in the library and played Catan. There is a nice little library on board the Norwegian Sun, but I never checked out a single book, probably because I spent most of my free time crocheting. Also, there is a sports bar on board the Norwegian Sun that serves comfort food all night long. We went here a couple times for snacks and cheesecake when we stayed up late playing Catan. If you have any questions about our Norwegian cruise experience or would just like to say hello, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. In the next Alaska video, join me for adventures in icy Strait Point. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see others like it, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell button for more art, lifestyle, and travel videos. Thanks again for watching, and until the next one, I'm out. Bye!